not sure if I'm in a good spot. My ceiling fan is like blowing my hair all over, but see my new growth. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about potty training and what's going on. If you follow me on social media, you know that I had this epiphany about a week ago, and I was like, dude, we're stuck home. We can't leave. This is the perfect time to really dive into potty training. Now, while I say that, let me say that we have been working with Connor for a long time, probably over a year, taking him to the potty, and you know, anytime you take, well, 95% of the time when you take him, he'll go. He goes at school, but he also uses his pull-up continuously all the time too. And so probably about a year and a half ago, we got this potty watch. I'll try to pull it up there where you can see it. And it's actually timing right now. And we would put it on his hand, and it lights up and plays a song whenever it's time to go potty. Now, you can set that for every 30 minutes, you can set that for every hour, or you can set that for every 2 hours as they, you know, get better. And so Connor hated it a year and a half ago. He hated it. Actually, one day I was like, his watch should have went off by now. And he was just, you know, playing around the house, and I was trying to get some stuff done and stuff. And when I went, it was not on his wrist anymore. And I was like, where is your potty watch? And he finally took me to his toy box, and he had dumped it like in the bottom. He tried to hide it. So we realized then that we were kind of pushing too hard. We definitely don't want to frustrate him to the point of regression. And so we kind of backed off. And by backing off, I mean we quit using the potty watch. We weren't really stressing over it. We were still taking him to the bathroom, and he was still using the bathroom when you took him, but we just weren't consumed with it, I guess you would say. And so today is day 6 of kind of being consumed with it, and I can tell today he's starting to get frustrated. I'm going to really try to stick with it. I'm really trying to make it fun. I'm really trying not to get frustrated with him. Easier said than done. And so what I've been doing this time is keeping this with me, and we're doing every 30 minutes. Yes, for the last 6 days. Yes, I'm exhausted. So when it goes off, I'll run wherever he is, because you know I'm in the house getting stuff done and stuff. I'm not always right on him, but I'll go wherever he is, and I'm like, look, and he'll be like, ah, you know, and we'll go to the potty. And also what we've done is he has a little Mickey potty, you know, like for the toddlers when you're teaching them, and it's in the living room. And the reason we're doing that is to just kind of teach him, get him there in time. You know, with little kids, it's hard to get them there on time, you know, before they go. And so since obviously we're not having company and we're not going anywhere, we've moved that to the living room. That will not be a permanent thing, but that's just while we're trying to teach him. And so that's what we're doing. I keep this with me everywhere I go. I don't wear it because I think it's annoying, and you know, it looks like a potty. I don't like that. But here he is. I keep it with me, and when it goes off, then I'll go get him. So I take it with me everywhere, just carry it like this normally, and just lay it wherever I'm at. You know, if I'm washing dishes in the kitchen, it's in the kitchen. If I'm, you know, wherever. And so that's what we've been doing for the last 6 days. Yesterday, no, well, one poop accident, but we'll get to that later. I'm working on pee. I mean, I want them both to get done, but a lot of times I hear you get one at a time. So we'll take it. Yesterday, no pee accidents. He went in the potty every time. I was so tired last night. I was so exhausted. I was so drained just from the continuous getting him on, getting him off. And while I'm saying that, let me just say that one time I was sitting on the couch and I was so tired. It was yesterday afternoon. I was so tired, and I decided, like, he went over there to potty, and I decided I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to let him do it. And he ended up he really struggles to get his pants and pull up down, and it's not like jeans or anything like that. It's little sweatpants that are easy to get off, but he really struggles. And he did not make it in time. He got his pants part of the way down and he peed everywhere. And then he got his pouty lip and he was going to get upset. So I kept telling him, it's okay, it's okay. So from that, what I've learned is he does need that extra help. He needs me right there with him, which is part of why it's exhausting. And he does need that extra help, which that's what I'm there for, you know. So he does need help with that. And we do want him to pull his pants down independently. He can do it. But while we're really, really trying to buckle down on this and not have accidents, I have been helping. Hear me out before you tell me that's wrong. I just really need him to get the concept of staying dry, of, you know, getting there, and we will get to doing it more independently later. There's plenty of time for that later. So that's kind of the method to my madness. And I also want him to be able to independently pull his pants down. Do not get me wrong. But since we've already had an incident with that, we're not there quite yet, because he doesn't realize, hey, I got to go and get there in time. He doesn't give himself time. So that's a little bit of what's going on there. I am charting this all. I should have had my chart in here with me. It's in the living room, but it's by the potty. But I charted all just to, in the beginning, I was trying to see if there was some patterns or timelines or anything like that. And so far I haven't found any. Obviously every 30 minutes, but that's because we're doing that, you know. So I'm just anxious to see, and it will also help me see, you know, if he stops going every 30 minutes, it will help me see, okay, we can increase this to an hour. We're ready for that. And then eventually the 2 hour mark. And so eventually we won't use this. This is not to use forever. But anyway, that's what we're doing. That's what's going on. So that is why I'm charting it. I'm just kind of watching for patterns. And plus it helps me keep up with, hey, how many accidents we've had and how we're doing. And if there's any pattern to the times of the accidents, you know, right after a meal or so long after a meal and stuff like that. So that's what's going on. What better time than now to hit it hardcore, because we're home all the time. And so it's exciting. I just can't imagine what it'll be like when he's completely potty trained. My mind just cannot comprehend that. But we're still a ways from that, and I realize that. He did wear underwear one day. A lot of people will tell you, put him in underwear because they won't want to feel wet. Connor's an exception to that because he has no problem feeling wet or dirty. He doesn't mind at all. And so I even, after a few accidents all over the floor, and that's coming out of his pants, that's not, you know, pulling him down or anything like that, I couldn't handle it. And so we went back to pull-ups. He knows what that means. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, I brought my charting with me. This is my, what I call charting. It is a notebook. So like what I've done is, here's our day. There's a lot when you're going every 30 minutes. So, let me light them. Here would be our day, and where you see the star is where there was an accident. See, yesterday there was one accident. It was poop, not pee. So, you can tell on day 4, we were having a lot harder time. See all them stars? This is before we started the watch. We were not doing well at all. Anyway, so you can tell there's been a lot of progress. So for this morning, we have 1 star. So still really, really good for the beginning. I don't expect this to be bam, bam, I got it. I expect this to be a process. He's very low muscle tone, and they have to learn how to hold that and how to control that. And so it's going to take time. So that's completely okay. But now you kind of see, I'm kind of glad it went off, because now you kind of see how the watch goes off. So what I do is I go in there, I'm like, it's time to potty, you know, trying to make it fun. And he'll get up normally. Sometimes he is me, but lately he's been pretty good. He'll get up and he'll go over to the potty in the living room. And he'll sit there. Normally he'll use it right away. He isn't one of those that sits on it for a while. He doesn't do that. So he'll use it right away, and then I'll take it and dump it and all that stuff. And he does like to help with that sometimes. I'll take it to the bathroom, I'll dump it in the toilet, and then, you know, flush and wash my hands and all that. And then I of course, wash that out also. What I like to do, because, you know, it has that little cup tray like thing in it, you know. What I like to do is, as long as it's just pee, I just rinse that really good, and then and make sure you get like all the water droplets out, because you don't want to mistake the next time that he peed and he didn't, because then you're probably not going to make it to the next 30 minutes. I pretty much know most of the time if and sometimes he'll sit on it and not go. Not often, but sometimes. If he sits on it when this goes off and doesn't go, I pretty much know that I don't need to wait till this goes off again. Like, I need to go sit him on the potty before then, or we'll have an accident probably. So you definitely want to make sure you shake all that water where you rinsed it out, so that you do not mistake that for pee, because that will set you up for an accident. I wash it thoroughly when he goes to bed for the night, like soap, scrub it, all that stuff. But during the day, I just rinse it. Different if it's number 2, obviously. There's a deep clean that goes on there. So anyway, that's the method to my madness. He will sit on the regular potty and go potty. He uses a regular potty at school. But the reason we're doing the little potty right now is I'm keeping it in the living room, because I'm trying to get him to like hold it until he gets on the toilet and all that, to teach him to hold it. So that's kind of what's going on. It's exhausting. I'm tired. But again, I just feel like, hey, we've been given this time at home. Who knows how long we're going to be here. We know we have, one more week? Yeah, we know for sure we have 1 more week. I'm going to guess longer, but I do not know that. And so what better time than now? We should take advantage of this time that we have. And so that's what we're doing. Slow and steady runs the race. It's really easy to bank all your time on no stars, no accidents. You know, you did it yesterday, blah, blah, blah. And it's really easy to get frustrated when you pull that pull-up down and it's wet already. And so you got to really be careful. Positive reinforcement is huge. You got to remember that this is a major change, and Connor does not do well with change. This is a big change for him. For us, even the routine period is, and he's going through a lot anyway with no school and all this change going on, and he doesn't really understand why. So he's having change anyway. This is a major change, so we're giving him some grace. He deserves it. And so that's kind of what's going on. And so if you're trying, or you're thinking about trying, or you want to look up and just check them out, I really recommend the Potty Watch. It's been really good. And I realized that I could just set a timer on my phone. I totally get that, since I'm the one carrying this around. But like when I go in there, I show it to him, and he'll look at it and he'll jump up. And I would love eventually to be able to leave it in the living room by the potty, and when he hears it go off, he just jumps up and goes. I don't know if we'll get there or not, but that's a thought too, possibly. And anyway, that's what's going on. We're tired, but it's all good. And I'm just so, I think a lot of times as parents, things like this stress us out. And we're like, oh my gosh, he's never going to get it. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted, blah, 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 and you look ahead, even when you have a small child, and you're like, oh my gosh, potty training, and I'm the same way. I'm a complainer too. I'm not going to get on here and act like I say, or like I'm not a complainer, because I am. But also, I get hit with this epiphany that I'm so lucky to have him. And I'm so lucky that I have a child to potty train. I'm really, really grateful and really, really blessed. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to cry on you, and I don't try not to get real sappy, but seriously think about it sometimes. Look around at all the blessings that God has given you and how good he's been to your family. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Happy Friday. It's Good Friday, so don't forget, that God gave his son on this day for our sins. And Sunday's coming. We're counting down. So anyway, I love you guys, and thanks for watching.